Hello and welcome to this tutorial. Today we are going to be talking about the keypad. So we're going to be using a pretty standard keypad. It's a 12 button, 7 digital pin keypad, fairly standard. So in this tutorial we are going to be talking over getting the library, and then we're going to talk through some code, and then finally we are going to prove that it works. So let's start by going to Sketch, Include Library, Manage Libraries. And we are going to search for keypad. And then you should see a keypad by Mark Stanley and Alex. This is the one that you want, and all we're going to do is we're going to click install, and then it should take a couple seconds and you should be good to use it. So onto the code. We're going to start by including the library that we want to be using. And then the rest of the declaration here is pretty standard if you're using the same keypad. But all we're doing is we're defining the rows and columns, and then we're making a matrix out of those rows and columns, and then we're assigning each row and each column to a certain digital pin, and it creates an array. So if you press 5, for example, then it will return the second row and the second column, and then that it does its processing on the other end. Anyways, don't worry about this too much. This is pretty standard. If you're using a different size keypad or one with more or less digital pins, then it'll change. But I wouldn't worry about it too much. So this last line in the declaration, this is where we're just declaring the object for us to call later in the program. So this one isn't going to change, but these digital pins may change, and depending on what keypad you're using, these might change as well. Anyways, onto the setup. This line right here. All we're going to do is we're going to initialize our serial communication, and we are going to be initializing it to a 115200 baud rate. So you've seen that before. Onto the loop, we are going to define a character as custom key, and then we're going to call the object that we declared in the declaration, and we are going to use the function getKey. So that's just going to return the key that we pressed. So then this if loop, all it's saying is if a key is pressed, so if this is true at all, then we're going to print that to our serial monitor. So pretty basic. Something to note about the custom key is character custom key. It's actually in an ASCII format instead of a decimal format. So there is a small conversion that you have to do. Printing the custom key, that's not a problem. But if you're ever doing a comparison, then you just need to be a little careful. Like, for example, the 0 in ASCII is actually a 48 in decimal. It's something weird like that. Finding a table is pretty easy, and you also find it as part of the written tutorial. So that's the code. Let's try uploading it and see what we get. Alright, so the program just finished uploading. Let me show you the webcam here, and you can watch me press the button, and then we can see it show on the serial monitor. So let's open the serial monitor by going to Tools, Serial Monitor, and when I press a button here, you can see that it shows up no problem on the serial monitor. So that was the tutorial. Hopefully this was of some help, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Thanks.